I mean, honestly, look it up if you want. This is all online.
So what happened when it all went haywire? What occurred?
Look,
Karl, this is online and it's bollocks.
Look at Enos. He'd done
This is online.
Right,
Well, I know this.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Davey. Welcome back.
Thank you. I've been away for a little bit.
But you're going to have to explain your voice because you sounding like Tiny Tim.
Okay, well, I'm currently at the time of recording, currently isolating due to contracting COVID. Boo, the dreaded COVID. So it's affected my voice. It's given me this deep kind of huskiness, which can be considered a positive thing. However,
In some circles,
yes, but it's for reasons of illness. Nothing to worry about. You know, millions of us have caught COVID, and we're all ploughing on through it, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So
you're an inspiration, sir. You're an inspiration.
Oh please! I'm just one person in a massive pool of people who've got COVID.
One of these days, do erect a statue in your honour, just like the Morpheus one. But better.
As long as it's like erecting a statue and not a statue that's erect, I'll be quite confused. You know.
Well, it's good to know you. It's good to know you recovered fully, more or less.
Yes.
But I will be gentle with you tonight. I won't be poking fun at you or anything like that. We'll keep it fair.
Well, I appreciate that. And hello everyone. Welcome back to another fun-filled chat / watch along.
Well, and Davey, before we address the audience properly, I want to wish you a happy new year.
Oh yes, of course. We've had that thing where the years have changed, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes. Happy New Year to you and everyone who's watching, of course.
And all the people watching.
Everybody. Happy 2022 and onwards.
Onwards and upwards. It's going to be a really big year for this channel because I've got so much planned with it, and I've already made 4 intros for new stuff I've got planned. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck in. You know how you always plan ahead your videos and content? Well, that's what I'm going to start doing because, as you say, being beholden week on week to people or content, and I don't like the deadlines. I like to do it at leisure.
Oh, well, it makes sense. You know, it's more fun and enjoyable when you're not under pressure.
Apart from the Kung Flu, did you enjoy Christmas?
Yeah, it was a nice relaxing time, a nice time to be with my family. Ate too much, drank more than I would normally, but I didn't get drunk. And I'm still working my way through all this rich, luxurious food. It's been a real traumatic time. I'm sure you can imagine eating all these like rich pies, cakes, sweets, and treats. Yeah,
it's like King Henry Dave's table.
That's the one thing I wanted was like a great big turkey, like, you know, if they have in those kind of medieval films, and they're just biting away and throwing the rest away and stuff like that, whilst drinking a goblet of wine or grapes or whatever it might be. But
or have someone waft you while feeding you grapes.
Exactly. It wasn't quite as lavish as that, but I did have a few snowballs, which I kept saying I'd have, and some baby sham. You know, for the retro Christmas drinks, they featured this past Christmas. So
I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock you. I barely drank at Christmas.
I'm sorry, what?
I barely drank a drop of beer or anything like that. Christmas dinner, Boxing Day dinner, New Year's Eve dinner, New Year's Day dinner, I had no drink. I had what did I have now? I think I had Coke or some sort of fizzy drink of some kind. It wasn't this. So I did well because I'm trying to keep my body in shape.
Well, see, the thing is, we're keeping it in shape is I'm a very firm believer in having the body of a god. But my god's Buddha, so it's nice and round at the moment. You know?
Shoulda, woulda, Buddha.
What do you think, viewers? Do you think there's any truth in the fact that Stephen's saying he hasn't drank over the holidays? I mean, you know,
don't put a poll up now.
Well, that's what you said.
Honestly, I barely drank. I had one drink on New Year to toast the New Year, and that was it. I didn't really drink much. I've been going back. I went back to gym during Christmas. I haven't been since June, and just trying out a new gym around the corner, and yeah, it's looking good. Well,
fair enough. I mean, you won't catch me in a gym, but yeah, you know, anyone that wants to go to it, fair play to you. Enjoy.
Well, one of these days we'll have a very, very entertaining YouTube special featuring yourself at a gym.
Oh yeah, because that's going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
It will. Lifetime supply of egg custards will persuade you otherwise. Anyway, we've talked for 5 minutes. We need to fucking get on with this, don't we?
Yes.
So we are now returning for the first reaction this year to the Ricky Gervais Show. We're on episode 11, Beetles.
Not to be confused, of course, with the mighty rock band from Liverpool, of course.
Oh, I was going to say Jeremy Beetle. That's Beetle, isn't it? That's Beetle.
That's Beetle, yes. But
It would
it's
have
a clever pun.
I'm getting like Karl now on this speaking. But shall we get on with this reaction before you lose your voice completely and laugh in with nothing coming out?
Of course. Let's get right on with it. Enjoy, everyone.
Bye. Oh, excuse me, nearly bad.
We do, of course, Rick, every week get thousands of emails. I mean, it's Freddie from Winchester says, of course, it was recently Valentine's Day. What's the most romantic thing that you've done for Suzanne, Karl, that you can think of?
I don't really do all that.
Sure. Valentine's Day stuff.
Sure.
It's just the problem is if you do it once, they expect it every year.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Christmas and stuff, isn't it? It's like that's what you do now every year.
Every day, yeah.
So I prefer to just sort
Very
of
topical,
wait,
this,
you know
isn't
what I mean? And you know, if I think of an idea or I know of something that she wants, I might get her something, but I might not do it on Valentine's Day. It's that thing. It's like how I've said about Pancake Tuesday. Make it Pancake Wednesday. Have it when you want. Why am I waiting? Why am I waiting for someone to tell me when I can have a pancake? I'll have it today if I want one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? With Pancake Tuesday, no, I won't bother. I'll have trifle. So it's the same with
Is
this,
it apple?
you know, with Suzanne. Luckily, right? I mean, Valentine's Day and what have you. She was ill,
Luckily.
so we didn't have to go out. So I'd say, is he asking for advice?
Well, I suppose, yeah, certainly you may as well give it.
Treat them when they deserve it.
All right.
I remember once when Suzanne was ill, she had a fever, but there was no food in the house. What did you suggest to her? She was too ill.
Well, it was when we were still living in Manchester and that, and we needed to get some food in for tea and stuff. And I said, come to the supermarket. She was like, no, I'm ill, you go. And I hate buying food. I just sort of get a bit blank when I'm looking at it. There's too much, isn't there? That's the problem. You go down all these aisles and there's just too much. So anyway, I said, no, come on.
Not individual.
She was like, oh, but I've got this fever, I'm hot and everything. So I said, well, come to the supermarket. You go on the frozen aisle, cool yourself down.
Oh.
And she did. And she said, you know, it made it worse. She was ill for another 3 days.
Poor Suzanne.
How would you go about chatting up a woman in a bar? What tips could you give?
I've never worked like that. It's always been like a friend of a friend and all that, and just happened to meet them, and then you have a chat, and then
How did you meet Suzanne?
that was when I was working with her, and she gave me 20p for the hot chocolate machine. She never asked for it back. Thought she's all right. Been there sort of 11 years, so it works.
Has she ever given you that? You've never given that 20p
Never
back?
asked for it back.
Did you return the favour, perhaps on the next date?
No one doesn't like
kick out
Steve.
No, I don't think I did. I think word got out that she liked me and that. And what did I do? I think I did some work for her, did some editing for her, sort of show off my skills and that.
Sure.
And she was like, "Oh, you're good at this, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." And I think she got us another drink because I was doing that editing for her in my own time.
So you're right. You're up on the deal, aren't you?
Said.
Because I know now, I know for a fact that you've not spent any money on her in 11 years. So you're 40p up.
At least. Lawrence from New York says, I was wondering how Mr. K. Dilkington would interpret this famous saying of philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein. The quote is, if a lion could talk, we could not understand him.
Even if he's English.
Yeah, if a lion could speak English, so there's no language barrier. He's speaking English words and using all the correct grammar and everything, but you wouldn't be able to understand what he was saying.
Why?
Because it is from a different world. His frames of reference would be so bizarre that you wouldn't be able to get a grasp on what he was talking about, because you'd have so little in common, even if he used real words.
No, but he's talking English.
Yeah, no, but his reference points would be just so far removed. You know, they're removed slightly when if you saw two people talking about Kierkegaard, you'd
I
hear...
wouldn't understand it.
Exactly. So remove that 1 billion times to a different species with different input.
No, but it depends. If I'm talking to a lion in London Zoo,
Yeah.
he'll be saying, "Oh, I'm fed up of being stuck in here." I'll go, yeah. It's like that. It depends what his background is. I mean, there's some people who might have lived down the road from me, but have a totally different life.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter that it's a lion, does it?
Well, yeah, because they're just trying to remove it even more. So now it's not just a bloke who lived a few doors away. Now it's not even a bloke. Now it's not even...
Yeah, but I'd pick something smaller or something, you know, a worm without a mouth. I'd go, definitely not.
What? Definitely not what?
I wouldn't be having a chat with it. I just
Don't
think
worms
that
have
worm
mouths?
that's underground.
Yeah.
What's it got to offer me?
They do.
It's blind and it hasn't got a mouth. It's not going to be a good day out with it, is what I'm saying. It's not going to have that much to say to me, even if it's English. Right?
Even if it's...
And how can you tell if a worm is English? Does it wear a very tiny bowler hat?
Oh, Christ.
Do you understand?
What about a jellyfish?
Oh no.
No, you see, I think that's where you can say you wouldn't be able to have a good chat with them, because to me, the sea might as well be another world.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In a way, I think the fish sort of have more rights than us.
What do you mean?
Just because when whoever made the world, right?
Yeah.
Say, you know, we're just bigging up God. But if I was to have a go at him, I'd say you added too much water.
Criticism 1 to God, right?
So
How would you have changed that? Just
more land.
Fair enough. Now, why have fish got more rights than us? That was what I was
Because there's loads of them, and when you look at the amount of sea on the world, right? There's loads of that. You only have to like you know, I was in Malaga the other week, right? And you know, you look in the sea, there's loads of different fish, and that's just in like 8-foot water. If you go miles out, there's like all sorts of weird fish, isn't there, with like lights on them and everything. So, and there's just millions of different types.
Yeah.
Now,
but why does that mean they've got more rights than us?
just because I think
we have more freedom. We are
in numbers, don't they? If you know what I mean. Like if there's one of you shouting, people go, "Oh, he's an idiot, shut up," whatever. If there's loads of you shouting, they go, "Oh, best listen to him, see what we've got to say."
Pancakes any day.
And that's what I mean about fish.
Yeah.
There's loads of fish.
Right.
So,
but they're not really making their voices heard, though, are they?
I know, because they're underwater. But what I mean is, I don't know what I mean.
He didn't know his own point. Oh, poor Karl.
Karl, right? What do you think it's like being a crab? If you could go now, your mind into a crab, what would you see? Where would you be? What would you be doing? What would you be thinking? What do you think of all the other things the crabs you'd see, the squids you'd see? What's it like, do you think? I want you to... It's like creative writing. Just think. Just let yourself go. Come on.
It's got to be a crab.
What do you think of a slug? What do you think to be a slug? What would you do if you were transported now into a slug? What would you do? And Suzanne, you're suddenly in the kitchen, but you're a slug, and Suzanne's sort of like there, just making tea and that. How do you let her know it's you?
It's impossible. I'd just chuck myself into the salt pot or something.
Oh my God.
No, because what do you do? I'd hate that. That would be horrible, that.
Oh, God.
Have you ever read
It's gonna suicide.
Kafka's Metamorphosis?
Don't
In which
think
a
so.
man wakes up and he's turned into a giant beetle? And that's the whole story. I think it might be of interest to you.
So what happened to him with the beetle?
Well, I don't want to ruin it for you in case you read
No,
it.
I
but
won't be
it's-
reading it, don't worry.
He joined a pop group with 3 other people. He was brilliant.
No, it's the book. It's a kind of almost heartbreaking because, of course, he does, like Ricky said, he finds it very hard then to relate to other people, even though he still has the consciousness of a human. You know, his parents, his rest of his family, they don't know how to deal with him. You know, because he's a giant beetle. He becomes a freak. He becomes an outsider. It's terrible. You know.
But hang on though, is he a giant beetle or
Yeah.
is he? Well, yeah. Well, that's not going to go down well, is it? That of course people aren't going to like you. But if it's a normal-sized one, then you just get in with the other beetles, don't you? Whereas if you're
But
a
you'd be
giant,
sort of
How would you do that? How would you ingratiate yourself? Right. So you're suddenly a beetle. You're Karl Pilkington, right? There's other people. They're doing their business. They're scuttling around, and you go in there, and they look at you as a new beetle. What's your first? What do you do? How do you ingratiate yourself?
well, for a bit, I wouldn't sort of barge into their house and that. I'd wait until they're out and about, and I'd like in life, right? sort of help them out. I don't know what beetles do.
Oh.
I've never seen one doing anything. They just seem to be going from one
That
place
couldn't
to
be
another.
helping.
I've never seen them carrying anything. I don't know what they eat. I don't know what they do. I don't know how we got them, right? But what I mean is, I'd watch them and I'd sort of help them out. And I mean, you know, it's like going on a date or meeting a woman, isn't it?
But what if there is?
Whoa, hang on, what do you mean? How is it like going on a date with a woman?
Well, it's like I said about Suzanne with her hot chocolate. She bought me that, and I've gone, she's all right. Right? She gets me another one before I know it. She's living with me. So he's.
So you're all these little beetles. They're scrolling around, right? You're sort of like watching them, and then you realise that you want to mate with this female beetle. What do you do? What's your first move?
Yeah, but I don't know what beetles do I? So I don't know how what you do. I don't know if you go up.
Of course, he brought that up.
What did they do? How did they get on?
Well,
it's a different world. I don't know yet, do I? Because I haven't done it.
Would you feel bad because having your own mind in this beetle, right? Would you feel bad shagging a beetle? Would you feel that was a bit sick because you've got a human mind?
Well, no, because you just close your eyes and that, won't you? Think of something else. So get round it that way. There's no point getting down about it because I'm stuck now as a beetle. So you've got to get on with it.
But if you're a slug, you said you'd throw yourself in the salt pot. What would you do if you were a beetle if you got depressed? And you see all the other humans.
No,
you see your mates, right? They got their listening to the iPod. What would you do?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. No, beetles are different because they do tend to hang about with each other. A slug's always on its own. It's a lonely insect, isn't it?
It's not an insect.
All right, what is it?
A mollusk.
Right, they're lonely. I've never seen a load of snails all together or slugs wandering about. Whereas beetles seem to knock about in crowds.
No.
Yeah.
So, oh God. Okay, right, another one.
So they're sociable creatures.
I've seen loads of snails together.
You've got the mind of Karl Pilkington in there. Because you can't communicate with these people because they don't speak English. They don't have any communication with you.
Yeah, but if it's happened to me, there'll be another one in there.
Okay then. Right. Okay. What would you do, right? That's the most disgusting thing. What could it be? Well, what would you do, right? If you were suddenly a fly, right, and you were knocking around with the flies, right, and you had to land on some
excrement.
Yeah. What would you do?
Yeah, but I don't have to.
What do you mean? You're a fly. You're
but I
loving it.
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't be loving it, though, would I?
Why?
Because I'm me in that fly's head. So I don't think other flies would be going, come on, join in. I'd just be like, no, I'll wait here, wait, watch, and that. Because I don't see why they have to do that.
What would you do, right, if you had to go back and you were in a, you were had to go and put your mind in like the an unhatched egg of something, like maybe one of those that a wasp was injected with a spider. So you know you're in an egg, right, which is really uncomfortable, in a spider. How would you feel about that, Karl? You're a baby wasp in the abdomen of a spider.
And I know everything that I know now. I'm sat in there.
Yeah. And now I'm in a spider as an unborn wasp. What the fuck am I doing here? What's going on?
I don't know what I'll do there. Probably try and sleep.
As a solution to
though, isn't it?
I just pray to God it never happens.
I don't believe it. He's written it down.
Oh.
Well, that's the jingle that signals it's time for more extracts from Karl's diary, and we'll lunge straight into it. Wandered down Carnaby Street. There was a happy homeless fella. I gave him £1.50. I thought of a tongue twister after giving him the money. It goes, if you can't treat a cheerful tramp, what sort of tramp can you treat?
It's good, that.
All
Say
right.
it fast.
If you can't treat a cheerful tramp, what sort of tramp can you treat?
You can't shoot trimful.
Good, that, yeah.
Oh, can't do it.
You've got too much time on your hands, Karl.
Learned some famous quotes to see if they are as good as my sayings. Number 1, treat every day as if it's your last. Very famous saying. Now, is that something you do, Karl?
But you know, my problem with that one is that if it was your last, you wouldn't want to be doing much. That's the only problem I've got with that. I wouldn't want to, go to a fairground or whatever. If you're going to have the last day, what am I going to do?
Like
You'd spend so much time worrying about what you're going to do that you'd end up staying in.
I think you're right. You've taken some of the poetry out of it. I think it means live life to the fullest, right?
I like the fact that you were musing on the idea that if it was your last day, you'd go to the fair. It's such a 19th century way of spending your final day.
I know, yeah. Well, the thing is, the other thing is that the only thing that people get depressed about in terms of sort of like, life and death is not the knowledge that they're going to die, but more the knowledge that they know they're going to die when they're dying. If someone told you no one ever knows when they're going to die, no one ever gets an illness, no one ever gets hit by a truck, everyone passes away peacefully in their sleep, dreaming they're riding a big marshmallow, right? Then you wouldn't care about anything. It wouldn't matter when. It wouldn't matter if you died tomorrow or in 30 years' time. You just live life to the full. You'd have it every day would be great. You'd go out, you'd come back, you'd fall asleep. That would be amazing. Yeah. There'd be no stress.
The fear of death,
there'd be no angsty, we're all going to die stress, because it wouldn't matter, because it would just be your life. Wouldn't it be amazing if someone guaranteed you, Karl, you're going to die in your sleep? I'm not going to tell you when.
Yeah, but some people do, don't they?
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
but we never know we're going to, because we stress. What if we get a dreadful illness? What if we, But
we're almost not letting people die naturally anymore, are we? Because we're always bodging stuff up.
What do you mean?
Well, someone who might naturally die in the sleep aren't allowed to naturally die in the sleep because they wake them up with those electric things and get them going again. And pop in a new lung or whatever whilst they're at it. That's what I'm saying. They don't just... You never hear it anymore, do you? Frank peacefully died in his sleep. No, he died on the operating table whilst we were putting in a new lung. They don't die naturally anymore.
Yeah, but if they did, then they'd be in the
peacefully with 40,000 volts going through them and a couple of people going, clear, clear.
Rushing about today. Got to get a lot done as I'm flying to Malaga tomorrow to see my mum and dad. Don't like flying. I'd be happy if they give you a parachute instead of a life jacket. They say Da Vinci invented the parachute as well as the helicopter.
That's
he never
true,
got around to making them, though, because he only drew them on some paper. Got up at 5 a.m. as I had to get to Heathrow to get on the plane to see mum and dad in Malaga. Went out for a drink with a cousin who lives in Spain. Ain't seen her for 27 years. Oh, that must have been tricky, making conversation.
I didn't really bother. Because where do you start? I might as well go up to anyone in the street and start having a chat.
Yeah, you have to go further back than, did you want Chantal to win Big Brother?
Yeah. My dad and me talked about history. I said we shouldn't go on about things that happened ages ago because I bet something similar has happened more recently.
Brilliant.
Read about an island in the Indian Ocean where there are tribesmen still living like they're cavemen. A helicopter tried to land and the tribesmen chucked spears at them. This is what I meant about not having to talk about things that happened ages ago. We have got new cavemen now, so why are we talking about the old ones? People could have lived before, but computers and all that blew up and books got burnt, so all they had left was what these tribesmen have got left.
Ramblings.
That's the ramblings
man
of a maniac. That's just a few hours before you go crazy with a gun in there.
No, what I mean there is, right? Say if all this has happened before, something happens.
Again, a lot of information from the Planet of the Apes.
World ends, right? We come back again somehow.
Yeah. It's the detail you leave out that makes you intriguing. Just like the watch that you can wear that tells you when you're going to die. How does it work?
Let's keep bringing that up.
That's all the detail you need. So the world happened. No. We came back.
Have you seen the pictures? Forget it then if you don't get it.
It's interesting that you had all those profound thoughts about this period into the past when they all lived, but you still found it appropriate to include at the end of that. It says the tribesmen wave their knobs about when they've had enough of having visitors.
That's what it said in the paper. That's what happened. They're quite happy.
What paper is this that you're reading?
It was in like a paper a couple of days ago. It said they don't mind having visitors if they're bringing them coconuts and stuff that they can eat. Once they've got everything they need, they start waving the tackle about. And that means, like, right, leave now, which you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, at a dinner party.
My grandfather used to do that.
I'm going to start doing that.
That jingle is getting more annoyed by the week.
Well, this is the final monkey news, right? I'm not doing this anymore, right? Because we've covered it all.
All the monkey news has been covered.
It's the final one, mate.
It has. We've done loads of them. I think all the news that needs to be sort of known has been told, right?
That is the end of the news. Jesus Christ. Get on with it.
Right, do you know we chatted about the monkey that went into space and stuff?
Mm-hmm. This was the one that was fed by bananas that came out of a little chute on the space.
Yeah, it went up there. He came back. He could never get that
the high exactly,
again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He tried other things. I think he tried to get a band together and that. Right, so anyway, there was loads of monkeys that were signed up to this NASA program, and it was 1961 when this little monkey called Ham, that was his name, as well as him, there was one called Enos. So anyway, what I found out about it since then, Ham went up there, did the left-right business with the bananas. Enos, they didn't put as much work into the trip when he went up there, and something went wrong with the machinery. And do you know how you get a banana for the left button and all that?
It's official now. There's 2 buttons in this spaceship. Banana dispenser and everything else. The right button is everything else.
But it worked the other way. The machinery went weird.
Oh no, really?
So it meant that the right button would give him a banana.
Right.
The left button did everything else.
Oh no.
So what had been taught? This is the problem with electronics, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't think
apparently this is the problem.
But the good, I mean, honestly, look it up if you want. This is all online. By the
So
way.
what happened when it all went haywire? What occurred?
Look,
Carl, this is online and it's bollocks.
Look at Enos because he'd done.
This is online.
Right,
He was right. Well, I know this isn't right. As much as I love bananas, this isn't right.
That was his thinking. Of course it was.
So anyway, so he came back. They were all like over the moon with him.
He said, "I can't work with these conditions."
Good mission and everything. Well done on working it out. He sorted all that out. It moved on a few years. Armstrong's gone up there. Buzz and that other fella. They've been up there, the
That other fella.
anymore. But they were like, we've got all these monkeys who have done NASA training. What are we going to do with them all? And they had to raise £14 million to make them like an old sort of chimp home for retired
NASA trained monkeys.
Chimpanauts.
Chimpanauts.
In there is like a little museum, right, of all the missions and that they've been on, so they can sort of, even though they're not going to be going into space again, they can almost relive it and reminisce of the times that they've had. And
they're reminiscing with each other, are they?
just sort of going,
about the
remember
old
that time when it
Remember
all
those
went wrong,
teabag
the button
adverts?
became the left when it should have been the right, and all the rest of
Yeah.
it. They just, sort of talking about old times and what have you, like old people like to do.
Sure.
And yeah, that's it. So if you want,
Perhaps we should retire Monkey News to that same space.
that's what I mean. So, I hope you've enjoyed the monkey news and that. That was the last one. Look after the monkeys. Do your bit because they've done their bit. That's it, yeah. But just because I'm not giving the news, look it up. Do you know what I mean? It's all out there. Don't be ignorant.
Wise words.
Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, mate, last monkey news.
It's been very informative and hilarious.
That can't be the end, surely. There must be like a compilation of monkey newses out there somewhere.
There has to be something out there, doesn't there?
Yeah, people in the audience, let us know what monkey news does it continue after this, or is that it? Because I mean, my preference is the diary, but you love the monkey news, and I don't want to see you upset.
Well, we rely on these information bulletins in regards to monkeydom. So yeah, what do you want?
That sounds a bit weird.
Yeah,
monkeydom.
Monkeys right up.
I'll tell you what, I had some sort of profound, again, it's that thing again, he had the profound notions, and then it's just not quite right, but I get it. And when Ricky was saying about, what was it now? About the end of your life, and it's the preoccupation that it's because you don't know how you're going to die, so that's the ambiguity of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're stressed about that, it's not the death that's the problem, it's how you die. And if you get rid of that, wonderful.
You have a wonderful life, or what's left of it.
I don't know if I'd die with a marshmallow. Probably, I don't know, on a desert island surrounded by donuts. The donuts with the chocolate on them. The ring ones. And then they'll provide 2 functions.
I feel like that's a question coming on.
No. So they
eat them.
Eat them, pleasure them. So, Davey, how can people find you? I don't think actually addressed. I don't mean like come up and see you. Like,
our followers out there, they know by now. But for anyone that's new to the show, hello, by the way. My podcast is called I Give That 10 Minutes. You can find me on the socials under, which way are we going here on the camera? Under my little ad sign there. Type that into Google. You'll find various ways to get involved with me and follow me. There's most of the social media outlets out there. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. There's quite a wide range. So,
are you saying you do TikTok dancing?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
It's not my fault.
Never mind the social media aspect of it. No, it's just another way of people to get in touch, and I put little trailers on there for forthcoming episodes. So it's a nice way to kind of get another message out there for different viewers, different listeners. So yeah.
And you know what? Someone taught me into going on TikTok in September, I think it was. He's crazy. I haven't been on it since, so I'm on it, but I don't put anything on it.
Yeah, it's just nice to have it there as an extra means of the show doing something else. But yeah, just go on and type in at @Davey10 you'll find me and how to follow me.
Exactly. And I don't know if you've been hearing the phones going off in here. There's been like ringtones going off everywhere, left, right, and centre.
It's the hotline. It's the hotline.
I know. Strippers Anonymous. And obviously, my link is very, very simplistic. It's Stephen J. Holloran everywhere. I'm on it. I'm on all platforms. Just type my name and you'll find me. And yeah, that's all I can say really. Do you want me to hang on? I'm gonna wave to Willie to say goodbye. oh no! Oh sorry, I'm just hearing that sex rated. I can't do that.
God. I'm so sorry, everybody.
You've missed this, haven't you, David? You've missed this through your ailments. You've been like, I miss Stephen and his little ways.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. It's nice to come back. It's nice to be actively doing something that isn't just sitting down watching television.
What did you watch? Did you watch like Korean stuff?
I mean, I tend to watch Food Network a lot because I love cookery shows. So that's like my go-to.
Do you do cookery?
Binge.
Do you like cooks?
No, not really. I can cook a few bits, but I'm not a dab hand in the kitchen really. But I like to watch others make amazing food that I could be jealous of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to teach myself how to cook, but that's another topic altogether. Anyway, keep abreast, by the way, if you're a Matrix fan, we're going to be putting on our Matrix Resurrections review.
I'm just doing it now, keeping things abreast. There you go.
Oh, is that a double D cup?
Last time I checked, yes.
Oh, nice. I was in the gym the other day, saw someone with magnificent breasts.
What was his name?
It was a he, actually. Anyway, I should bid you adieu. Goodbye, Davey.
Goodbye, and bye to everyone watching. Thanks for joining us again.
Enjoy the next time. See you later.
Bye.